Are you stressed out and think that you have a bad lifestyle or a not healthy lifestyle? Then you're not alone. And you're actually not alone in time either. The other day I came across an article by a man, or about a man, that is called Abraham Beck, and I have a picture of him here. That's the guy. He lived in the 18th century, and he was friends with Carl von Linné, you know, the guy who systemized the whole plant system. I'm sure you read about him in school. He was a Swedish guy, but I guess he is world famous. Anyway, this other guy, Abraham Beck, he lived between 1713 to 1795, and 2 years before he died in 1793, he held a speech that has been discovered now, and it was about lifestyle. And it's really remarkable because it's the same problems that we have today, exactly the same thing, 250 years ago. And they also looked for quick fixes, and this guy, he says there are no quick fixes. But people have a very hard time to change their habits. But the only thing that is good for your health is restraint and moderation. That's what he said. And he also said the society is good at preventing fires, but they cannot prevent health. The health issue was not a big thing at that time. People did not get health care. And the reason was very simple. There were no doctors. There were no system to come to the health care. I don't know if you know how big Sweden is, how large Sweden is, but it only had 9 what you would call family practitioners at that time in the whole country. And they didn't have cars, so it wasn't really covered for the whole country. That's a big reason why people didn't get health care. He himself lived in the upper class, and he was the doctor of the king. But he has had a big heart for the main people, for everybody. And he saw the big epidemics of diseases that came and went and that killed. And he did a lot of good work in his deeds about the hygiene, so you could prevent disease and to have less people get killed by it, mainly. Another problem that he addressed in this talk was heavy drinking. That was a huge problem, and a lot of people died too early from their drinking. And he said that we should drink water. We say the same thing today. And he also said that the upper class had this luxurious food, but it was not always that healthy. So the middle class or the lower classes, they had much better food with the normal things that we should eat that is good for us. That is, and he even talked about vitamins, and they didn't really know what vitamins was, but they knew that diseases, if you didn't eat fruits and greens, they knew that you could get specific diseases, and they understood that there was something in the vegetables that you need. But and he didn't call it vitamins, but that's it's a sign of that they really knew a lot more than we could imagine. He also talked about physical activity, and he said that sitting still makes you lazy, and that physical activity strengthens you. The same thing that we say today. And he also said that you should be outdoors. That was good for you. he also noted that anxiety tears life down, and laughter and trust is good for longevity. So you can hear this guy says the same thing as I do when you sum it up. 250 years later, this lifestyle thing is not a new thing. To take care of yourself was something that they did think of at that time too, with the knowledge they had. So it's the same good old, number 1, physical activity, number 2, proper food, number 3, he said, no heavy drinking. And I would like to add the sleep issue as number 4, and he doesn't mention that at all in this speech. But maybe they did not have an issue with the sleep in the same sense, since they had no electricity, so they were not up. They didn't have the 24-hour society. They did. When the daytime was over, the light was over, so they kind of had to go to sleep. Probably that was a lot healthier in that sense. So if you like this and want more free stress and health related tips, then please click the link above or below this video. And if you have friends who you think would benefit from this kind of information, feel free to send them this video so they can have a good life too. To your success. Bye from Dr. Annika.